Yes, they will develop skills, they will develop techniques, they will learn strategies, but they have universally a sense of entitlement to get what they want. They feel like they are worthy. They feel like they have permission to have what they want. And then from that position, even if they're not particularly skilled in their strategies or their techniques, these people will tend to get what they want anyway. Whereas men who do not feel like they deserve women or money or success or happiness, who don't feel like they're allowed to have it, don't feel like it was their birthright, don't get it. It really comes down to as simple as that. Developing a sense of entitlement creates the internal space where you can bring abundance into your life. Because if you don't feel worthy, let's say, of beautiful women, you don't feel like you deserve beautiful women, or that you don't have anything to offer beautiful women, then it doesn't matter what you learn in terms of what to say to her. Because the moment you go up and speak to her, which you probably won't because you don't feel worthy, and you'll sabotage yourself, but let's say you do, she is going to sense that you don't feel like you deserve her. And no woman wants to be with a man who doesn't feel like he deserves her, because what does that say about her? Right? A woman wants to be with a man who feels like he deserves to be with her, and he chose her. And he had choice. And therefore that increases her self-esteem and makes her feel like she's a valuable and sexy and appreciated woman. Yeah? And you'll see this with things like money and finances, and it can often come from a class thing. I know for myself, I came from a very poor working class family, and a family that also had philosophies around money that were not effective for getting it. Essentially that rich people were evil or greedy. Yeah? And I mean, many people who come from working class backgrounds will have some sense of that belief because they don't have it and they need to justify that, and also this world of finance and money is something that's mysterious and seems to be unfair and all this kind of stuff, and so you have these beliefs about money. And the interesting thing is you cannot be what you hate or what you fear. In the same way I used to hate those cool guys who got all the chicks, and I wanted to get lots of chicks, and this causes internal dissonance because how can I get lots of girls and be that guy that I hate at the same time? Yeah? So in order to shift that, I really had to resolve the fact that I was jealous, or I was intimidated, or I was scared, and that I didn't want to necessarily be like this jock arsehole over here, but I did need to integrate some of the elements that this man had in terms of boldly taking what he wanted, taking no shit from anybody else, living by his own rules. Yeah? And when I could just let go of any of this negative thoughts that I had about these types of people and step into their world and play within different playing fields, suddenly the world opened up to me. Suddenly I could view money as energy. I could view money as something that I could wield to live an interesting lifestyle, to change the world, to help people, rather than something that only greedy, evil capitalists had. Yeah? I got to change my views on sexuality and seducing women to see that to have many lovers did not have to be something that was negative, that was hurting women, or that was misogynistic. It could be something that was actually spreading an amazing gift and emancipating and liberating women, as well as, you know, making sure I had a good time as well. So the question then arises, of course, how do you develop entitlement? How do you develop a sense of self-worth where you really feel it? Because, I mean, I can say to you, be entitled, and you're like, okay, I'm entitled. And somewhere in your subconscious, a little voice says, no, you're not. Or, no, you don't deserve that. Or, you're not good enough. All these little voices. Now, in order to, and everyone's like, ready, what's the technique? I can't give you a technique to do that immediately. And this will be a lengthy process for anyone to develop your self-esteem. But the important thing to do is to shift what your values are and put developing a sense of self-entitlement and worthiness at the very pinnacle of your value system. Yeah? Because at this moment, many guys, particularly if they came to this because of seduction, their value system might be learn to get chicks. How do I get hot chicks? Because that is going to fill some void inside of me. If I can just get a hot girl, then I will feel worthy. Or, then I'll feel okay about myself. And that's, typically why men who are insecure seek out a trophy girlfriend, is because it's like, yes, see, look at me. I've got this hot girl with me. That means I'm okay, right? And I mean, sure, that can happen, that can work, but it's a very shallow victory. And it's something that is, of course, dependent on that girl still being on your arm.